Okay, so we are driving. It was really bad in the room. I waited too long. Vita is pretty weirded out, and that's the drugs in her system, and she doesn't feel good. And we got in here, and she was just shivering and shivering and shivering, and speed limit 65. That's going to be a bummer. I don't know where this road leads. But yeah, it's, I had to wait for a while to roll down the windows, and it, of course, was prolifically inside the vehicle. So, which this vehicle did smell like burning something earlier today, and I didn't drive it very much, and so I'm guessing that they're trying to disable this. And in order for them to put toxic stuff and chemicals into this rental, this is a small town. This is the only rental company here. They would have to get his okay, the owner. And they purposely fucked me, you know? They were like, you need a $1,500 deposit because it's a debit card, and, you know, just all this shit, you know? And it was all constructed, you know? They would have gotten a phone call the moment that I fucking broke, you know, that they knew I was going to break down, you know, because they know that that was the only person I could turn to. It wasn't hard. They didn't even have to wait till I made a phone call. They could have made the phone call way before I did. My nose is so stuffed up from this fucking toxic shit. Anyhow, I had to wait for a while to roll down the windows because Vita was just shaking and shaking and shaking. Anesthesia causes hypothermia. So what makes this difficult of when I try to get them fresh air is that the air's fucking cold. That's what's been difficult since it became winter. You know, it's fucking cold, and they're already in a weakened state physically. So, bummer. Just overall bummer. You know, the whole fucking thing. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning, 3:30, 4 in the morning. I waited too long to get us out. I was drinking a ton of coffee. It's hard because I don't feel it as much, obviously, because I'm jacking myself up because I'm trying not to get raped and sodomized. And I mean, even if I could do that for the dogs, would I do that? No, because then they're being pumped full of a chemical that's working against the stimulant, and that's not going to be a good thing. You know, it's not a good thing for my heart. It's not a good thing for my body. But mijo, you're getting too much out the window. I put it down like that so that Vita could get some air because she's not as tall as you. But yeah, I can't do that to them, and it's not a good thing. I mean, yes, I'm more awake, and yes, I don't feel the effects of the drug stuff as much. But the reality is, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. So I'm turning around because I don't really have anywhere to go. I don't want to go too far from civilization because I know that they've messed with this vehicle. So that goes back to, people that rented me this vehicle, the owner of the establishment knows very well that they put toxic shit in here, that they did some shit to the body of the vehicle, because I literally haven't hit anything, like, or caused any sort of damage, not even a fucking bush, you know? So, but yet there's paint that's been peeled off, and there's like some shit I documented earlier today, you know, and he's gonna know that they're gonna do this, and he probably gave me the worst Jeep out of the lot, and the one that he cared the least about. The first day there was no toxic shit in here. The very first day I had this, and I wondered to myself, are they gonna put it in the vehicle? And if they do, it will have to be okayed by the people that own it, because they're not gonna do that, you know. Like, again, everything's about networking. So they want to maintain friendships. And I've started to think that there's a very high possibility that Kanab, Utah is a transient spot for doing some drug activity. You know, because it's kind of a small town in the middle of nowhere, high tourist activity. So, you know, having different people coming in and out is not unusual. It wouldn't be, you know, wouldn't stick out like in a lot of small towns it would. But here it would definitely not. It's super touristy. There's tons of hotels for the size of the town. Like, holy shit. Like, there's a shit ton of fucking hotels, you know? So, yeah, I mean, pretty much. So, I'm getting bummed, you know? There's, you know, and the feds who I've seen watching them watch me and, you know, following me, following them, blah, blah, blah. I haven't seen fucking hide or tail of them since I've been here, which gives me, since the first couple days I was here, which gives me another insight onto the fact that this is probably a cartel stronghold town. Just because then they, you know, I don't know. How involved are the feds with the cartel? How involved? And if they aren't, then they know that they'd be noticed because it's a small town, and if it's a stronghold, they're gonna have a lot of eyes in this town, like the whole town, basically. So they're not gonna be able to really maneuver in town. If they were smart, they'd be doing feet on the ground instead of fucking planes in the sky, because I haven't seen their planes in days. And if they were smart, they would have seen, just like them, 14, 16 hours ahead of time where I was heading, and they could get someone else to be there, you know? Like, if they were smart, that's what they would have done. Now, this is going to be somebody that's probably on their side, so I've been surprised at how many truckers are willing to help them. So let's see. Let's turn off this so we can hear. See, oftentimes the truckers will pelt shit at my vehicle for them. So let's see if that was happening. Gotta check and see if it is shaking or not. She's super chilly billies. But yeah, I mean, God, how many fucking inns? Probably like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different big complex hotels. That's not all of them. That's not counting the small ones. That's not counting the RV parks. That's for a town this big. Like, literally, I could drive the entire town. You know, not out where, you know, people live, but the actual town part in minutes. That's a lot of fucking hotels. And because it's in sort of like an area that kind of connects to things like the Grand Canyon and all these like spots of, you know, tourist interest. But this is a perfect place for the cartel to take a stronghold, because the Best Friends Animal Sanctuary, where we're staying, look, Travelers Motel. We just passed one. Travel Lodge. That's 3. 4. 4 in the period of how long? Yeah. Now it kind of makes sense. But if the feds were smart, they would have put grounds on, you know, feet on the ground, and had somebody staying. Everybody thought I was just going to be staying the entire time at the Roadhouse. So maybe they're staying there. Maybe the feds are there, and then they can't really watch me in the cabin, but they can watch it all happen. I should be doing laundry. I really need to do laundry, actually. This would be a perfect time to do it, and it's open. It's open all night. I don't even want to know what those 2 truck driver things are doing together. White truck. They love their white trucks. Doesn't look like it has a Utah plate. Poor Vita. Fuck. I gotta fucking do something. Holiday Inn. That would be number 5. Hampton Inn 6. Lot. It's a lot of hotels in a very small town. Like, very small. You know, I don't see my vehicle in the lot. I don't see my fucking vehicle in the fucking parking lot over there. I don't see my fucking RV in the repair place that it's supposed to be at. So let's take a small drive over there and see. So what I was noticing is that my RV doesn't seem to be parked in the lot of the repair shop. Is it or isn't it? Is the question. So let's do a very, very slow drive-by. Ooh, and we get to drive by. Oh no, we won't. I was gonna say we get to drive by the white truck again. Yeah, but the animals can't do any more of this. This is just such torture. I feel so bad. And they love that. They love that I feel bad about it. And Crack Horse suddenly is somebody in the world. She's a torturer of 2 dogs. The killer of a cat. Woohoo! She's somebody. She's finally somebody for the first time in her whole fucking life. She's somebody. She's big time. In a town this small, you definitely already have the cops in your pocket. You know? You definitely have that going on already. So let's see if we can see my RV. It's not where it was parked before. And let's see. Where's my RV? Not in the shop. That's weird. That's odd. Where's my RV? Where's my RV? Let's do another block. Because what difference does it make? It's not like we have anywhere to be. My nose is not unclearing. Obviously they got something up my nose. Oh, bunny rabbit. I have to pee. Which means the drug is coming out of my system a bit. Because, well, because I've drank a shit ton of coffee, and when I don't have to pee, that means that it's being suppressed by something that would make it so I don't have to pee. But yeah, that would be weird if my RV was missing. from the lot. So let's see. Where is my RV? I really have to pee. Let's go in here. The Best Friends Fitness Center. That's a good enough place to be able to check out where my RV might be. And see if it's in the lot. In here. Is that my RV over there? Yep. It looks like it is my RV. It surely does. That's a good thing. I really have to pee. Baby. There's my RV. It is so fucking sad. I haven't not seen my animals super bummed out in way too long. So my RV is there. That's a good thing. I don't know if I just haven't been driving a gas vehicle in a long time, but I don't know, this vehicle just sounds wrong. Sounds like it's straining. My neck is so sore. Oh, hey! I saw this vehicle last night when I was driving around. That same one. And missing headlight, that's why I noticed. And it's a work truck. And it was white. My neck is so sore. I think the first time they fucked up my neck was just because they were sodomizing me, and it was the way my neck was positioned because I'm unconscious, so there's no... Ooh. Hear that? That's the sound of them hitting the vehicle with something, because there's nothing in the road, and I didn't go on any dirt or gravel. Another lodge. Best Western Lodge, Comfort Suites. You see what I'm saying? Is this weird? That there would be this many Canab Suites. Roadway Inn. I mean, that's that's a lot. I mean, there's more hotels than there are places to eat. This is the Roadhouse. Or I thought about stopping by, but I'm just, I'm tired of being labeled nuts. I am. I'm tired of it. I'm over it. I'm over people being like that, and I'm just, hopeful days in Suites. Had a nice Raven sodomy happen at that place. Not that one in particular. Another place to stay. That's a lot. That's a lot. I literally think there might be more. This is another lodge. Canyon Lodge. I mean, don't you find that weird? I mean, yeah, it's a tourist town, obviously. But isn't that a little many for, How many people did they get here? I don't know. But to me, it's a perfect place then for like cartel, that kind of shit. I'm gonna turn the heater back on. It gets cold pretty quick. Them probably. They're gonna slow down and pelt shit. Most likely. The fact that that one nostril of mine is not unclogging, it's a bit weird. Sorry, Mijo. I know that scares you. It's just a bit strange. Normally by now, me being out of the immediate environment, that would mean that my nose would unclog. And that has not happened. So, I know she gets bummed when she can't have 6 hours straight of me unconscious and lots of gang raping and gang sodomizing and just hours for her to do her torturing and her to show off to people who are interested in torturing unconscious women, which I'm sure there's at least a few in her little rapist repertoire. This is nuts because they're making videos. I know they are, and with phones. And they're allowing people that come in there to do their shit to make videos of me. And they're using those videos to gain other rapists. And they're showing those videos to say, look, yummy, yummy, look who you get, you know? And I'm not trying to boast myself up. I mean, I just look at the average fucking prostitute that these kind of people are probably getting to engage with. And yeah, I might be a little bit of a step above because I'm not actually a fucking prostitute. You know, and I don't mean step above as a human being, even though probably, just because I care more about people than probably those people do, because they've lost hope in life, which I should already, and they're keeping their fingers crossed about that. But you know, I mean, there's a kick to the fact that I'm not an actual prostitute. But at this point, I've been raped and sodomized so many times, you know, those women at least get to choose whether or not they, or at least fucking fight for someone to wear a condom, whereas I don't because I'm unconscious. And the whole sodomy thing, they think is this like, oh yay, we don't have to use a condom. It's like, okay, I think they really truly believe they can like forever keep it under wraps how many diseases I've actually gotten if I have HIV. Like, I think they really truly believe that they can mastermind any test result that I take and make it to say whatever they want. And just take it from me that you should be fucking petrified, literally fucking petrified at how much of an extent of networking that they have done in the United States to be able to do that, and how scary that it just is for any fucking American that you literally now live in a country that supposedly you have rights that people in Honduras and El Salvador and Mexico don't have. But the reality is you don't. And that if you got targeted at any point, they could do what they're doing to me to you. And, maybe they couldn't do it to, like, Oprah Winfrey or somebody like that, but for the average person, which is the majority of the people in the United States, yeah, they could. And you should be fucking petrified. Like, I'm fucking petrified, but I've been living it for a very long time, and it's grown slowly because people have allowed this, because their early networks made this possible. you know? And there are in the very beginning, they could not get as many people. They really couldn't. They just couldn't. But they have now. I mean, literally, it's like pretty insane. But I personally think they've been drugging me for fucking years. You okay, B? You okay? I gotta go because the dogs are freaked. And I get it. So, I actually gotta take a piss. Badly. And I'm all showered and clean. Oh, my spine.